Morning, it's Patsy. So I've come on today to do the September reading. I won't be doing a week ahead reading because it's September tomorrow, so I thought I would just do the September ahead instead of doing a week ahead and then a September one. I just thought I'd condense it all into one. Now the problem I've got, because I was going to do this 9 box like I normally do, but the cards that I'm using is the Golden Wheel Tarot, this one, because I haven't used this one yet to do a reading online, but the cards are that much taller. It's harder to get them all in 2 shot, so I'll just have to show you as I draw them. And the card that I'm using as an overall energy is from the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck by Gay Guthrie and Josephine Wall. And then I decided I'd pull 3 clarifiers here from my Hanson Roberts little deck. So there we go. So that's the ones that I'm using. Now this is a general reading, so it'll probably be for some people, not everybody, because you know general readings can't be for everybody. Some people may read the cards differently and take a message from themselves. They may take some of the message and may take all of it, or they may take none of it. That's for you to decide whether you know whether or not that has any significance for you and what's going on with you. So we'll get started. So very first card at the top here in the energy that we're bringing into September is the 3 of Wands. So for some of us, then we're starting the month of September waiting for some kind of return on things that we've started putting out there, something that we've been very passionate about and put some work into to get things moving and to get it off the ground. And we're waiting now for some kind of comeback, some kind of feedback, or some kind of outcome from what we've put in. But it has been some, I mean, it could be anything for anybody, you know, different things, but it's something that you're very passionate about, something that you've been working on, and something that you're hoping that is going to get off the ground or start moving, but you're now in this place of where you've got to wait to see what starts coming back. So that is the sort of energy that we're coming into this month. So the second card is the 5 of Wands. So when I see this card, to me this isn't so much about fighting as much as kind of ideas being thrown around and bringing other people into conversations, and probably not always agreeing on the way forward or what it is that you're planning. So this is a kind of energy that comes with something that you're all rather passionate about and you've all got ideas about. So it could be related to this one here, you know, with the 3 of Wands. It could be that while you're waiting, you know, that there's some disagreements and some jostling of ideas going around, probably rather passionately and argumentatively, about, you know, the way forward and, you know, what's going on in or a situation around you. Could be causing this kind of atmosphere, but it could also be that because while you're waiting for this to come through, that things are probably getting a little bit aggravated and tense and starting these argumentative sort of behaviors, because you know you're waiting, and because you're not got nothing coming in yet. It can sometimes cause us to get a bit on edge, and that can sometimes flare up into this discussion and argumentative kind of atmosphere. So maybe that's something you'll need to watch for September, that while you're waiting for some returns of whatever this is that you're waiting for to come back, that things don't get a little tense and argumentative. If it, you know, for some of us it may just be that it's ideas backwards and forwards trying to agree on different aspects, but because everybody involved is passionate, things can get a little bit aerated sort of thing. So that is the energies of those. So both fire energies. And the next card is the Moon card. So it could be, like I say, related to this, these other 2 cards, because we're still waiting for this news to come in, still waiting for this of all this work that you've put in to see if there is going to be some kind of movement, sort of, instead of having to sort of wait patiently. Things are rather unclear at the minute. When the moon comes up, that's usually a sign that, you know, things are not really clear at the minute. The path ahead isn't quite as clear as you'd hope it to be. And again, you know, when you're waiting for news, like what comes with the Three of Wands, you know, then you can't really move forward till you get some answers and you start getting some feedback or some comeback from what it is that you're waiting for. So it could be that the moon card is just telling you that, you know, things are not quite clear ahead yet. There may be, for others, that there's going to be some things come out this month, you know, with the moon. Sometimes secrets and hidden things can come to the surface, that kind of thing. But for others, I do think it's involved with this, for these people who have put this something out there and waiting for it, you know, the ship to come in, sort of, in that feeling that everything is a bit unclear until they get this information or news of this situation, or whatever this Three of Wands is, that things are going to be a little bit unsure for them. So they can't really move forward too much until they start getting this come back to them. And then the next card is the Two of Wands. So we've got a lot of fire energy so far. I mean, this is the fourth card, and the 3 out of the 4 is this fire energy. So with the Two of Wands, this is telling you to kind of join together with somebody else, to kind of work through whatever it is that is going on. You know, sometimes 2 heads is better than 1 to figure out what's the best way forward, and what's the best way to get out of a situation or move forward with a situation, or but you know, sometimes we try and do things by ourselves, but sometimes it's just better to get somebody else on board and to have somebody to share it with, to move forward, because you can sort of get ideas from each other and what have you. But again, it's still this dark clouds here, so you know, I think September for some of us is going to be a month where it's the way forward in a situation, or you know, is not going to be very clear. There's going to be a need to be patient and wait for things to settle down, because everything seems to be a bit up in the air for some of us this month. So whatever it is that you're waiting for to come in, there may be a delay. Things may not be quite clear as you hope it was going to be, and it might just be having to wait and just put your heads together with somebody else who can help sort of to move things along with you, or at least to kind of give you somebody to bounce ideas off and what have you. So the next card is the Queen of Wands. No, sorry, Queen of Swords, not Wands, Queen of Swords. So with all this passionate energy, this fire energy, this, you know, what's going on at the minute, I think the Queen of Swords is coming to kind of say, well, no, calm down and refocus, look at things logically, start communicating with other people to get the answers that you needed, because butting heads together and all this argumentative fire energy going around needs cooling down, and that's what I think she's coming in to do. It could be that it's an air sign that helps you come, you know, comes in to try and calm things down, but I think with all this Wands energy, this fire energy, she's coming in to say, do you know what, it's time to cool things down, let's look at things logically, let's start communicating, let's get to the root of everything, what, you know, to help us move forward and get things a bit clearer in the mind, sort of thing. Next we have the Ten of Wheels. So the Ten of Wheels is the 10 of Pentacles. So to me, this is telling me that this is probably a something financial going on with some of us, or about the home, but it looks like we've come into an end of a cycle, with it being the 10 of Pentacles, and it could be that we're waiting to hear about news about a new job, starting something fresh, some kind of financial thing coming in, to start this new cycle off. It could even be a new home, waiting to hear about a new home to again, the end of one cycle is finishing, so you're looking to start again. And because this news isn't coming in, it's causing all this fire, passion and energy, and because you're raring to go and you want to get things moving, but things are still very uncertain, and we need to kind of calm it down, refocus, look at things a bit clearer, start communicating to find the answers that we want. This is the kind of energy that I'm getting with this card being amongst all these others, that because we're at the end of this cycle, we're looking for something more, because when we're at the 10, we have ended that cycle. We have a lot, but we're not satisfied. We need something else, that passion, what starts building up again, to start something new, to start afresh. And this is what I'm kind of getting with this. This is what we're waiting for, this new start, to start a new cycle, but things are still a bit unclear. The next one we have is the Seven of Cups. Now, interestingly, with this Seven of Cups, it's just the water flowing from each cups. So to me, when I see this Seven of Cups in this deck, it's all about, there's so much emotion attached to these decisions that you've got going on and things that you're waiting for. You're emotionally, everything's sort of becoming a bit emotional. Everything is sort of overflowing, and you just can't think straight because emotionally you just don't know which way to go. So this is what the kind of feeling I'm getting with this card, that there's so much going on with you that at the minute that things are very emotional, and you've got decisions and choices to make, but they're all emotional decisions, that you're not quite sure which way you're going to go, or which way is the best way. The next one is the Four of Wheels. Again, so this is the Pentacles. Now, when I see the forward, I don't always see this as greed. Rarely will I see this as greed. But to me, this is about letting go of things. Sometimes we feel that we have to hoard everything and keep everything, and find it very difficult to let it go, and even to the point where we'll keep hold of things that we don't even need anymore. And I think this is a kind of the feeling I'm getting there, that you're very emotionally attached to some decisions, making these decisions, that you're going to have to let something go to be able to move forward and take any opportunity what is going to be coming with this Three of Wands. There's some things that you are not only emotionally attached to, but with the Wheels, it's also that a homely, earthly kind of commitment as well. So you're finding some things to let go of on a more physical kind of thing, work related. It could be that that you're finding it hard to let go of a certain job, and stay in there because it brings in the money, it's good money, it does what gives you what you want, but it doesn't give you any love or passion for the job, sort of thing. But you'll stay there because it's stable, and you can stash the stuff away because you're earning lots of money, that kind of thing. But emotionally, you're not happy with that on an emotional level. It's not working for you. So when I see these two together, I do think it's a lot of us are being held back by emotions and the need to be stable, and not wanting to risk what we have, if you like, to make decisions what could change things for a while, that would rather stay squirreling away, even if emotionally we're not happy about what we're doing, because it feels a need, it keeps us stable, and letting that go can sometimes be difficult. And then the last card is the Hanged Man. So with the Hanged Man, it can be asking you to look at a different perspective, or not to rush into things, but to look at things from a different perspective, and just to look at the whole of the situation before making any decisions. usually with the Hanged Man, you're not forced into this position. It's a position that you take yourself because you need time out to think of things and to look at things at all angles and kind of work things out. Sometimes it means that you just got to have a bit of patience. So for some of us, we just need to have a little bit more patience to start seeing the outcomes that we're hoping for, or some movement that we're hoping for in September. So if we go into the corners, as I normally do, it's talking about this starting the month, waiting for some news on what we've put out there. But with the Hanged Man, it's telling us that we may need a bit more patience. It may not come in September. We may not get all the answers that we want, or it could be that we've just got to start looking at things from a different angle and kind of just take time out to see if this is really what we do want. These opportunities that are what we're waiting for to come is really what we do want. So then if we go to the other two corners, we have the Moon. Oh, I forgot to pick it up. We have the Moon card and the Seven of Cups. So again, you know, things aren't very clear because emotionally we're not making any decisions. There's so much going on that we can't commit, or we can't see our way forward at the moment. So that is what that kind of tells me, you know, that there's decisions to make, but because we're unsure of the way forward and everything's not seen yet because we just don't know yet, then we can't really move forward until things become a lot clearer. But sometimes things don't become clear because we're too emotionally attached to things. So if we go down the piles, we have the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. So we know while we're waiting for these opportunities to come in, maybe we need to join up with somebody else and kind of, you know, bang your heads together, sort of put your heads together sort of thing, come up with ideas and plans while you're waiting for this news to come through. And it ends with the Seven of Cups, which is, you know, it may be that you've just got too much emotional attachment to what's going on in your life at the moment, or to be able to take full opportunity of what is coming towards you, you know, full you know what I mean, you know, I'm rambling again, but yeah, so you know, these opportunities that you're probably waiting for and the outcomes you're waiting for, you know, you probably need to start, you know, bringing somebody else in to discuss things with. And because there's so many choices to make, so many decisions to make, that emotionally it's probably getting you a bit fraught and a bit overwrought, that kind of feeling. So by bringing somebody else into it, may clear the picture a little bit easier, make it easier for you to make any decisions. Then this row down, we've got the Five of Wands. So, you know, we need to, with the Queen banging the smack of the centre of not only this line but the whole reading, it's basically telling you just to calm things down, to refocus, to look at things on a more logical base rather than allowing these emotions to, you know, take over us. We can't see ahead, so just focus on the now, and see what is going on. Cool down these argumentative behaviours what are going on, and the need not to let go of what we no longer need in our lives. But she's bang smack in the centre, so and she's the only sword in this spread, so she's there to tell you that things are probably getting a little bit fractious, a little bit argumentative, a little bit fiery, so and emotional and all that kind of thing. So maybe it's time to kind of calm things down and look at things from a different point, with a more level head, and start communicating with the people you need to communicate with. And then the final line is that things, you know, things probably will start coming to light, but to me this is more of the path still isn't really clear at the moment. There's still things that are clouding the path ahead, and then, you know, it, like I said, it could be to do with finances, it could be to do with work situation, it could be with your home situation, but something is, you're at the end of a cycle of something, and now you want to move forward into something new with these opportunities. You're hoping what's going to come forward, but at the minute things aren't very clear. So it may be that with the Hanged Man at the bottom, that you're going to need to be a bit more patient, or at least do as the Queen of Swords asks, and not make any rash decisions, but just sort of refocus, look at things at every perspective, at every angle, before you make any decisions to kind of move forward. So then we have the card that I always pull from the Oracle, and we have opportunity knocks, go for it. So whatever you're waiting for, these opportunities that you're waiting for, what are causing you all this thing, you know, this card is suggesting that when it does come, when you've given it a bit of thought and whatever, you're going to be ready to go for it. So even if it's not coming as quickly as you hoped, it will come. Things will start to, you know, especially if you use this energy of the Queen of Wands, things will become clearer. The path will become a lot clearer. You know, decisions will be able to be made if you move away from them emotionally and let go of what you need to, and realize that sometimes we have to take little risks and not have to be so stable and worried about moving on to new things, because things can work out great, because we are now at this end of this cycle and we do need to start afresh, some of us. So let go of what you need to. Don't become so emotionally attached to things. Bring in others to discuss things with. Try to not to get into this argumentative pattern of behavior just because things get a bit heated. And if you bring this cooler energy in of the Queen, then you know that will calm things down, and you know that will pave the way for these opportunities to come in that you're hoping for, and you'll be in a position to take them. So let's have a look what the clarifiers from the little handsome Roberts. We have the Nine of Cups, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So with the Nine of Cups, I always see the Nine of Cups is that it's a kind of that wish card, isn't it? People see it as a wish card. So, you know, this opportunity is going to come. You're going to get your wishes come true. Because when I see the Nine of Cups, that's often what it means. But it's also moving you to, number 9 is moving you towards that ultimate goal that you want to reach, and just asks you to keep moving forward. You know, you're going to get there. You're not, you know, so that is great. And then with the Ace of Cups next to it, then that's the new beginning, what it talks about needing to finish this 10. Then the 1 starts, the Ace starts. So it's this new, and you're going to be emotionally fulfilled. You're going to be in a good, happy place to start over this new beginning. It's, you know, for some people it could even be a new love coming into your life. It could be a new child or anything like that. This is probably what you're waiting for some of you. It could be you know, you're waiting for this to come through. But again, we got the Seven of Cups again, so that's twice we've got the Seven of Cups. So again, this is just being a lot of decisions need to be made. A lot of them you're attached to emotionally, and you're finding it very difficult. But with the Ace of Cups here, there is going to be opportunities what do offer you this new beginning, but just choose wisely, because sometimes when the 7, you don't get it with the other 7 of Cups, but you do this one, not everything is going to be as you think. So just be careful and double check everything, small print of everything that you decide to go for, because sometimes when things look too good to be true, they are too good to be true. So even though we've got this new start and your wishes are granted, just be careful that you've made the right choices, and you're happy with moving forward, and that you've looked into everything clearly. With the Queen of Swords energy there, make sure that you've been very focused and very thorough with any kind of communication before you take on these opportunities. But I think, you know, overall these opportunities, what are coming, is going to be good for you, but they just want you to double check, and especially if you are given a lot of different choices and you're not sure which one, and one looks so much better than the others, but you're not quite sure, there's something about it you're not sure about, then really look into it before you go into that direction. But on the whole, September is, even though it's going to be starting with a lot of, you know, not sure which way you're going, and at the end of the month there could still be this where you need to look at things. Eventually this is going to come in. It's probably not going to be till the end of September, beginning of October, but this energy, what's going around, these clarify that this is how they're going to come to an end. So, you know, your opportunities are going to come, the wishes are going to be granted, and there is going to be a new beginning. Just be careful of the choices as you move forward, and make sure that you keep very clear and focus on all the different options. And this cycle, as it comes to an end, will offer a new cycle with these opportunities. So there we go. So that's my rambling for September, and I shall speak to you all soon. Bye for now.